for the gong to be sounded.
Go already, like, let's play.
Let's do it, Daniel. Let's get those games going. And exactly, it's only a 7.5 playing right away. But yeah, Nepo land, it looks pretty promising for White, I've got to say, at least at first glance. Looks like a very simple position, but only one side has a real weakness, and that is the black pawn on a5. Perhaps it could be defended by the black bishop at some point. Perhaps black's bishop will get active on a nicer diagonal later. Black has a nice compact central pawn structure, so nothing too much to worry about. But I'm also looking at the clock. Nepo himself has barely spent any time, and yeah, I mean, am I being biased here, Daniel, saying that White has a small but stable advantage?
No, I agree. I think this pawn structure is quite favorable. White is holding down. There's no prospect of pushing d5. I mean, of course, I say that, but actually d5 is probably a move to be taken seriously in this position with bishop e4 coming next. So we can address that separately. But if White is allowed to double on the a file, I don't know, maybe get the knight around to d3. It feels like White's position is more pleasant, but as you're saying, at the same time, if Black can find a way to securely defend a5, maybe with a bishop from d8 and then sliding the queen away, eventually Black has some active ideas like preparing f7, f5. But by and large, I think, yes, Black is probably on the defensive here in the early going.
Yeah, and Nodirbek, I'm not sure how comfortable he'll be feeling. He normally likes these types of positions, as we saw yesterday against Giri, from the other side, where he could just probe away and nibble at weaknesses and channel his inner Karpov, as you mentioned. But yeah, right now it's unclear what Black should be exactly aiming for. Should we try and make a few moves, just shuffle the pieces to see how easy it is for either side?
Yes, that sounds like a good idea. My dumb tactical brain is having a hard time refuting d5. First of all, maybe we can start with that. d5, again, I know this is a mistake. Actually, it's not. Eval bar does not skyrocket as much as I thought it would.
If I take back CD, maybe?
And then just to illustrate for newer players what the idea is, bishop b4, the point is that when White plays the move b3, the knight loses its defender and this pin becomes a lot more dangerous. Actually, there's a very interesting subtlety, David. D takes c6 is a mistake, but not because of queen takes c6. This would be a counter mistake. Suddenly knight d5 and there is a Forkovich on e7. This is the importance of spotting tactical subtleties. Instead, you play bishop takes c3 and simply take the rook, picking up an exchange, but White is under no obligation to play dc, and I think you have a better move in mind here for White.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm not sure which one's better, but queen d3 or queen e3. And Black isn't quite able to take either on d5 or c3 right now. If you remove the knight, then you walk into a pin on the c-file. And if you take on d5, just similar to the variation you showed, the white knight lands on d5. And still a bit to calculate, knight c5, for example. yesterday. I mean, you mentioned the elevator. Yesterday, I was rushing back. I'd been out for lunch, or I'd been out. I had to come back and commentate, and literally I ordered food, and then it took 40 minutes to arrive, and by the time it arrived, I had to run. I had to just leave. I was like, the chess never waits. The things we do for chess.
Exactly. No, that's an infuriating situation. Okay, another infuriating situation here. Jan just almost there.
Everything wins.
Knight c8. Yes, that should do it. Just trade the rooks and take the pawn on g4. Is there anything wrong with that? f4.
Yeah, f4 would be nice. Just create a protected pass pawn, and yeah, I mean f takes g4.
Yeah, maybe flirting with some king f6. Black starts to take these pawns.
Yeah, I was trying to count there. I think white was still winning, but there we go. It is a handshake. The pawn and the trapped black knight decide this game. Jan Nepomniachtchi. He's one of the stars of today, of round 8.
Very impressive. Wire-to-wire victory by Jan, really headlined by this positional pawn sacrifice c5. It worked like a charm, and the result really was never in question from the moment they got into this endgame. It's a good fight by Nodirbek, but the hunter yesterday, the hunted today. That is just the story of this tournament.
Yeah, that's the way things go at the top level of chess, and nice to see the players kind of taking the time, even after a mammoth games, nearly 6 hours now, taking the time to discuss, to analyze, and for Abdusattorov, I'm sure he wants to learn a bit about what he could have done, should have done in the opening, because he never really got a chance. Once things went wrong in the early middle game, Jan just masterful handling of that early position, and that leaves us with 1. Nepomniachtchi, congratulations to him. It's now down to Zhu and Kukash to provide all the entertainment in these Rook and Knight endgames.
Yes, that is quite a charge that this game has taken on. Keeps the